the mega trend from ownership to access to is it's actually quite easy for most people to understand. If you take a subject like music, books, games, and so on, the majority of people no longer go out and buy stuff. They rent stuff or they acquire stuff, and then it's placed in a cloud, and then you have access to it instead of having to have all this space where you keep your items. So having access to is actually the definition of wealth. Having access to school systems, having access to education, to healthcare, to the judicial system, to roads and so on. That is the definition of wealth. A wealthy society is a society where many people have access to the things that they need in order to have a fulfilling life. Ownership, that's the stuff that you need to own for yourself. And the success criteria for the future for people and companies is that you have to own as little as possible. You have to own the things that are very, very meaningful for you. But the rest of it, you just need to have access to. Because offerings are sufferings, or the soon as you own something, it takes up mental space, not just in the physical environment, but also in your brain, and you need to spend time just to make stuff work and keeping it in the same condition as it was when you acquired it. So do you really need a huge server park? Do you really need to have space for every employee, or do they just need to have access to a table? Do they just need to have access to the profile that they log on to? So you can ask yourself also privately, do we really need to have houses where everybody has their own parking space and everybody owns their own car, and then we all have to use an amount of time to keep this car fit for our needs? Or would it actually be nice in the future to have a greater lawn, more space to play with at home, and then we have access to a parking lot where we share maybe 10 cars, and then you have 10 different cars instead of just one car? Then, of course, we need new social contracts. We need to have, we need to agree that we want something with each other, because it's very annoying to share stuff with people. We need to have the social contract where we agree that we need to have a certain kind of standard in order for us to have access to the things that we need. But again, it is one of the cornerstones in wealthy organization and wealthy companies, wealthy countries in the future, is the ability to not own a lot of stuff, but to have access to all the things that you need and to share and to make the social contracts so that we will keep on doing it in a sustainable manner.